What up, everybody? We are live. We're going to tune in to see what Donald Trump has to say tonight. We got a few minutes until he comes on. Here, I'll show you guys. I got my eye on it over here. Just keeping an eye. I don't know what this idiot has to say. What is he saying?
Now become a one-way street.
Oh, great. Okay, so they were just playing a clip. Whatever. All right, we'll get rid of that for a minute. Share this out. We got to get everybody in here. J-Riv is first. What in the world? This is not right. This is not right. We got to fix this. Like, we're gonna stop the live. Do this again. Someone else has got to be first before J-Riv. That can't be happening. Can't be happening. But yeah, share this out, guys. Let's see what Donald Trump says. No, we're good. We're gonna see what's going on. We're gonna see what he's gonna talk about. Some of the stuff that I was looking into earlier. Apparently, it like everybody knows it's all about Iran. It's gonna be saying how great he was, how he stopped them from getting a nuke, which is insane. To even think that, really, that's what we're worried about. Netanyahu's been saying 2 weeks to get a nuke for a long time, over 30 years. And now we're saying the same thing. Like, all right, whatever, which we'll get into that. But we'll see how this is all going to go. Throw in the comments on what you think he's going to be talking, what he's going to mention, anything big. And let's have a conversation about it, because this is going to be interesting. You think he's escalating or calling it a win? I think he's calling it a win. He's losing his base. He is losing 2026. Well, 2026 is gone. I've been saying that for a while. We are definitely in panic mode for the midterms, and we're going to see a very crazy last 2 years of a lot of executive orders, which is dangerous. We don't want to be signing executive orders. If there's something to get done, it's got to go through Congress. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. You mean flatten Iran? Yeah, it's definitely not been 2 weeks. It's been 33 days, and it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't see that anything really is good is going to come from this. We're going to find out. And what up, Daniel? Glad you're here, buddy. Yeah, I'm not super optimistic about the show, about what he's going to cover today, but he could surprise me. Donald Trump is a little weird like that. Sometimes he does some off the wall stuff. I'm sure he's going to come out and talk about Artemis a little bit and talk about how he was a big part of it in 2017. This wouldn't have happened without Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. Like, any president that was in office in 2017 would have gotten that passed so they can say they were part of it. So stop saying it was me. Like, yeah, it was you, but any president there would have just signed a bill and made it happen. 2 weeks to circumvent the moon. A little bit faster than that, but yes, 10 days, but it's going to be, oh man. So I'm not too optimistic, but I do think that we're going to call it, and he's going to call it done, and they're going to say a huge win. But we have Iran. I don't know why I keep flipping back and forth and saying that. Iran keeps saying that, oh, well, we didn't really talk with him. We didn't really do this. We didn't agree to a ceasefire. Okay, well, now it's a he said, she said. Who's going to be telling the truth? A lot of people are going to default to Donald Trump, the MAGA base at least. I'm just going to default to, we shouldn't have been there. Like, we shouldn't even been in this situation, spending billions of dollars. We should have been paying off debt. We should have been focused on the primaries. Like, most people should have been talking about the primaries that are coming up. Like, you have Pennsylvania in just over a month, and you want to talk about midterms? That's how you lose midterms. You don't actually show up to vote. You don't talk about it until the final minute. You should have been talking about the primaries if you wanted 2026 to be successful 6 months ago, because that's how slow people are at grasping anything with politics and to be able to change a vote or to go a different direction. And we already know conservatives and Republicans don't generally show up to vote. Not at all. And so it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. Raytheon and Lockheed Martin need those contracts though. Yes, they do. They haven't gotten it. They haven't gotten a whole lot. And so we had to up their money. We had to give them a little bit of bonus. And who knows? They're playing clips, it looks like, from his speech earlier. I don't know what he was doing. But his speech earlier, he was asked what he was going to talk about, and clip is going around. You guys have probably saw it, where he's like, I'm going to talk about how great I am. And he says that jokingly, but we know that's his personality. We know that is what he does. That is why he's putting his signature on a whole bunch of bills, not bills that we pass for laws, but American fiat currency. Let's just go like that. A whole bunch of fiat currency with his signature on it. And then he wanted to be the first president to show up to a Supreme Court hearing. And so he could actually be the first president, sitting president, I should say, to show up to one of those. So he can say he's the first. You can do all of these things. Look at the trend of everything Donald Trump is doing. Everything he is doing is just to say, look at me. I did it first. I am the best. That is his MO. It's always been his MO. Regardless you like him or not, you have to admit he does everything like that to be able to say that he's the best. He always does. And so whenever there's these opportunities, he's going to take them and do it just so he can say he's the best. It is just crazy. But what else do you guys think he was going to gloat about? What do you guys think? You think he's going to say anything off the wall, anything different? I think overall he's going to end up doing. He's just going to gloat. I hope it's not a really long address. That State of the Union was forever. That took forever because, again, another one. He wanted to say he's the best, so he wanted the longest State of the Union out of any other president. So he intentionally did that. And you know who came out and talked about that first? You had McCarthy on Fox News. I think it was Jesse Waters was saying that he's going to go for the longest presidential address, State of the Union ever in history, which was formerly held by Bill Clinton. So Donald Trump does everything to say that he is the first to do it. He is the best to do it. And so whatever, he's going to gloat about Artemis. I'm off my soapbox now because it's just annoying. Like, the president doesn't really serve us, guys. The president could be doing so much better and pushing for so many other things. But no, we're always talking when it comes to Donald Trump. We are always talking about him and what his achievements are is what he wants. And whatever. In my opinion, the first presidency was pretty solid going through to 2019. Economy was fire. Now it's doing the complete opposite right now. I am not excited to be paying over $4 a gallon driving around the motorhome. It's going to be ridiculous. Trump and the global elite played the long game and duped us bigly. Yeah, very likely. It looks like it. Will he talk about gas prices? No. Well, he will talk about how he's going to lower gas prices. But we all know the gas industry, the oil industry, they go up like this, but they take forever to come back down. Take forever. It's not going to drop off of a cliff like it does when it goes up. We know that. That's just normal history. Gas just doesn't plummet like that unless you have COVID and everybody gets sent home and no one's buying gas. Maybe that was a sign. Maybe we should have all bought a whole bunch of gas and stocked up. It would have been shit gas by now, but you get the point. But we'll find out how it's all going to go. Dan Bongino and Thomas Massey was going at it today. If you guys didn't see that, I was just going through the threads before we went live, and those two are going nuts. We got 3 minutes. Here, let me see. Let me swap some things around. Let's see if I can do this real quick. I want you guys to see the back and forth between Thomas Massey and Dan Bongino. It's nuts. Actually, let's check audio real quick, just in case we have to hurry and switch. So I'm going to throw it on the screen. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear the audio so we can just test this. Make sure We're good.
And the people of America.
Can you guys give me a thumbs up? Can you hear that?
Opportunity to lay out.
We're not watching it yet.
And to make the case to the American people. And I believe, having been in this business now for over 20 years, that there's a strong case to be made, and we should be very proud as Americans
we will
of what our military and intel communities have done here. And it's time really to continue to ensure
that you guys hear Fox?
Cannot come back to harm us.
Yeah, that is
give me a thumbs up if you guys can see can hear it. Thank you, J. Perfect.
Kind of tout some
and we'll get rid of that for right now. We'll pull it off. I just wanted to make sure that it worked. So if he just shows up on the screen over here, we'll just throw it on and we'll be ready to go. It tested all good, but I wanted to make sure. Where was Thomas Massey and Dan Bongino's fight earlier? You would do that, J-Rev. You would do that. Where was their argument? Was that? Man, they were going back and forth earlier today, and Massey was talking about, oh, here it is. Let me see if I can throw this on the screen. One more. Right here. Boom. Let's see if I can zoom in here real quick. So Kyle Serapin tagged Dan Bongino in this video. Dan Bongino, Tom Massey is a shameless fraud. Community note. That's funny. Massey, a fraud, yet contradicts his own record. Wow. Great. Community notes for the win. But yeah, like right here, they were going back and forth today. Well, yesterday, it looks like. It wasn't today. This is hilarious. Remember, I informed you that you had staff that threatened my staff. Careful, there are receipts. Like, oh, you can't. Here, let me move me. Can I move me while I'm live? Ah, that's not what I wanted. Can I move my placement while I'm live? There we go. There we go. And so they were arguing back and forth yesterday. I was reading through this whole thread of everybody going after Thomas Massey, and it was crazy. All right, let me move mine back down. Oh, wrong one. Want this one. Boom. Okay. But yeah, it was hilarious watching this reading this back and forth earlier today. This is the type of stuff that I find comical. Dan Bongino, I've told you guys before, I believe Dan Bongino was sent back, not because he did a horrible job, because I do believe he did a horrible job, but I think they needed somebody to try to rile up the base for voting. That's why Dan Bongino came out and started attacking everybody, calling everybody a black pillar and all of this, because that was his whole MO. He was trying to build up a voting base, and it turned out to go complete opposite. Donald Trump's still not on yet. Here, I'll throw up the screen so you guys can see. We're just waiting. It should be any minute now. So we're just filling the air. We'll see what Donald Trump has to say. I'm not expecting a whole lot. It's going to be all about the war and how we won. Okay. I don't know how we can say we won, because what did we get? What did America get out of this war? Anything? The only thing I believe Americans got was more debt, and we got more division in this country than we ever have. The MAGA movement lost a lot of support. A lot of people, like, I voted for Donald Trump in 2024 for Doge and no new wars, and then you go and Doge disappears after a few months, and then you go and start a war with Iran in June 2025, and everybody said it was not a war, and then here we are. Like, what is it? Several months later, we're really at war with this country. I bet we are pulling out in 2 weeks or so. Someone just commented on what? My video? Yeah. All right. Mag American says, I bet we are pulling out in 2 weeks or so. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
My fellow Americans, good evening.
Holy audio is awful.
Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it, please.
It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially past the moon. go around it and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless
Thanks,
us
Meg.
for unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing
winning right
this current
I'm not.
situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are in a true sense joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being,
Shame on you,
however,
Terry.
the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash, took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had, flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did.
Missiles?
With the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary.
Their ability to build a nuclear bomb.
Anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. The short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged
so it's
terror
Iran's
attacks
fault.
against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas.
Then why is our gas
Under
prices
my
so high?
leadership,
Because of
we
Iran.
are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible.
Yeah, large refund. I
They're
owe
getting
thousands.
so much more
Thanks,
money
Trump.
than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved.
I agree, Ben.
Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was Not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of
Oh, bullshit.
all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days.
But it's not
we
a
are
war.
In this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
President Trump with that live address as it goes to a slate. We here at Live Now are going to take
All right.
a live look
Let me get rid
at
of this.
the White House.
Let me get rid of this.
Where the president.
Okay. It's Iran's fault why you're paying high gas prices, but we manufacture our own oil. We do all of our own oil here, but it's Iran's fault. Yeah, I understand the market. I understand the oil industry in that sense. They kind of influence that. But if we're not buying any oil from over there, why can't we do something here to keep gas prices down? Why didn't you work any deals with the oil companies here to try to figure that out? Why was there nothing done for Americans to keep that even down? No, there wasn't. Because I haven't paid this crazy gas price in a very long time. And it is insane. I in my area here in Utah, Salt Lake City area, it's like $5 a gallon for diesel. Diesel, a byproduct of gasoline, you're paying $5 a gallon for. Now, then he says, we have never said it was for regime change. I'm trying to find the video. And I believe Marco Rubio, I think this is it. Hang on. Let me pull this up. I think this is the clip. I'm trying to find it here. Let me share the screen again. It was not about regime change. He said it. And let me unmute. Hang on.
Half from now, the capabilities they would have. That's in Iran despite years of sanction. Imagine a year from now or a year and a half from now, the capabilities they would have to inflict damage on us. It's an unacceptable risk, especially in the hands of a regime that's run by radical clerics. The Ayatollah was a radical cleric. That entire regime is led by radical clerics who don't make geopolitical decisions. They make decisions on the basis of theology, their view of theology, which is an apocalyptic one. That has to be taken very seriously as well. So that was the purpose for what this operation is all about. That's in Iran despite years of sanction. Imagine
so isn't that the definition of regime change?
Capabilities they would have.
Like we're really talking about it was never that entire speech by Donald Trump was nothing but lies. He also, let me go ahead and share this screen. Let me pull up this one. Keep in mind, they also posted on whitehouse.gov. Wrong screen. Why don't I have that option here? Why? Okay, hang on. We'll do it this way. We'll just leave that page. Not now. Stop. All right, we'll just do it this way. Right here. Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated, and suggestions otherwise are fake news. From the White House. The whitehouse.gov, their website, White House's webpage, they put this article out saying it was obliterated. If you say anything otherwise, it's fake news. And the date on this, June 2025. So if it wasn't for regime change, it was to stop the nukes. We did that in 2025. Why did we do this in 2026? Because Israel wanted it. Like, come on, just say the freaking truth. You were talking about Israel all the way up. Like, we did it. We had to protect Israel and all of the stuff. Like, no, it's not our war. It's not our war. If Israel wants to go and take out another country, Israel can go and do that. It's none of our business. We don't need to be doing that. We need to be cleaning up all of our crap at home, all of the campaign promises that you were saying, Donald Trump. We need to doge the entire government. We need to shrink the government. We need to pay down the deficit. What happened to all of the money we're getting from the tariffs? Where is that going? Is that all that money gone now that we went to war and spent all of this unnecessary money? None of this is making any sense. This entire administration is looking like garbage right now. Garbage. They're lying straight to your face and telling you everything is great right now. Enjoy the gas prices. They might as well be saying that. We had the prior administration. The entire administration was telling us the grocery store prices are not high. Just buy store brand. And now we have Donald Trump lying to your face and telling you the gas prices are a little high, but they'll come back down. No, they won't. Probably not in his administration. They are astronomical right now. And when gas prices and oil prices go up, that means everything else in stores go up. Because you got to be able to get those items to the store somehow. When costs go up for any company and they go up for too long, they have to adjust their prices so they can maintain their profit margin. It's not rocket science. It's the same thing with tariffs. When you add a tariff to something, the costs go up to buy a product, and so then they have to then increase the prices to make up for the costs that they're going to lose, the money they're going to lose. This administration is a complete joke. Now, let me also share this one. He said, it's been doing quite well for the last little while. Dow, like the stock market. Let's look at the Dow. The famous Dow that ever since Pam Bondi said the Dow is at 50,000 in her Senate hearing that she was addressing. I think it was can't remember if it was Senate or the House, but anyways, when she was addressing Congress, she said, we should be talking about the Dow, not the Epstein files. The Dow. Guys, the Dow right here. The Dow is up $200 in one day. Let's go to a 5-day, okay? It's up $200 over 5 days. Let me move my head. My head is in the way. Let me move this and customize. Let's put me over here. So over here, see? 5 days. It's been down here for most of the 5 days. So he said for the last couple days, like, dude, no, it's only been doing good for mostly 1 day. They're lying their asses off to you. You want to see what it's been like for a month? It was way up here before we started bombing Iran. 6 months. See, it was up here. The peak was about right here, February 10th. So we're at we're going on 2 months. It was up here, and it's been nothing but down since Pam Bondi addressed Congress. And you can't tell us everything is great. Points, not dollars. Oh my. Let's not get into that conversation. When it comes down to this entire thing, an absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. They are doing nothing but lying to you and telling you that everything that you're going through right now is normal. Why is that still on the screen? Here, let's just do that. There. Oh, now it's not a square, but that's okay. When it comes down to this administration, they are doing nothing but telling you lies and telling you no better words and no better information than the Biden administration was telling you. It is the same exact thing. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is not what I voted for. I voted for a lot of things that are not happening. We need real change in this country, and this current administration is ruining it. And they have a major election in 5 months. No, it's November, 7 months. In 7 months, we have a major election that the Republicans will lose control of the House or the Senate, or potentially both. And if that happens, we are going to be going into a lame duck presidency, and it's going to be even worse. We're not even getting anything done now. Then it's going to be impeachment hearings and wasting all of this time doing that instead of doing anything else. Right now, we were told if the Republicans were to take everything, we're going to focus on America first. And we are not doing shit for Americans right now. Shit. I don't give a rat's ass what goes on in the Middle East. I don't care. It's none of our business. If they attack us, then that's a different scenario. And don't get me with the whole 2 weeks they would have had a nuke and all of that stuff. Bibi Netanyahu has been saying that for 30 years. 2 weeks and they're going to have a nuke. 2 weeks and they're going to have a nuke. There's a lot of 2-week spans in 30 years, and they still never had a nuke. And this administration is keep telling you what you're seeing is not true. What you're feeling is not true. Your bank account, it's getting drained a little bit, but the economy is great. No, it's not. The economy is awful. And if you look at actually the money spending, and you get into that, we should do one of those shows on all of the fake money that has been printed and everything that has been done. We were supposed to go into a depression in 2008, and we never did because we printed money to save us from doing it. Quantitative easing, right? We went the approach Japan did, and Japan paid the price. We're going down that same path. It's going to hurt. We have to right this ship. We have to stop our spending. We got to get our balanced budgets. We have to start focusing on our country and figuring out how we can get America thriving again. Right now, America is not going to be thriving even through 2028. The path we're on, it's going to be sketchy for the next couple years. And even the president in 2028 who gets elected is probably not going to be able to fix it either. This administration is really bad. I was hoping for a 2019 version of this administration that we could be really thriving, making money. The country was booming at that point. Then there was some opportunity to start changing some things. But ever since the Epstein files and they started lying and telling us that it's all a hoax, ever since that point, it has been downhill. They have not wanted to do a single thing to help Americans. And it's because there's 535 pedophiles in Washington, D.C. that need to be held accountable, and we're doing nothing about it. That is the entire problem. We don't want to do anything to address the actual situation. We want to cover it up. And speaking of covering it up, did you guys see they're kind of building a bomb shelter underneath the ballroom at the White House? It's insane. It was originally just a ballroom. And now all of a sudden Donald Trump's talking about using it as like a bomb shelter. I understand we should be protecting the White House. We should be protecting the president of our nation, no matter who it is. They should have some protection just in case we do go to war. But you would have thought we would have already had that. So why are we building a new one? Do they expect something? Or are they using this to drum up fear? I think they're doing this to all drum up fear because they're trying to say Iran almost was going to have a nuke. And so they're like, oh, we're going to say we're building a bomb shelter. That's going to also reinforce it. I don't know who's coming up with all of this media shit that Donald Trump keeps talking about, but it is not going anywhere. And it is not making any freaking sense. It's like it's some high school kid or fresh out of college staffer that's coming up with these things. And they're thinking it's great when it's awful. These are some of the worst lies that they could be trying to tell you. It is, I can't say it's any better than the Biden administration. The Biden administration was horrible, and we know that. We all lived through it. We're starting to see the same shit right now. It's horrible. Well, on that note, guys, we're going to start wrapping. We're going to wrap it up here, but on that note, we really need to start preparing our communities, our states, getting involved locally. Screw the federal government. Don't even worry about voting in the federal government. They're just going to do what they want. It doesn't matter what we do, how hard we vote. None of that's changing in the federal government. But what you can do is you can build a strong community, build a strong state that can help secede or leave the union and in any way declare your independence. But this is the most ridiculous thing that we're experiencing right now. We have to prepare for a downfall. And the only way you can do that is locally. Preparing locally, building a strong community, and building a strong state just in case the whole thing comes down. And they're the ones that actually listen to you. I'm getting there, Waz. I'm getting there. But at least locally, you have some say and you have some ways of doing things. California is probably just already screwed. New York's screwed. But a lot of our states, there's still opportunity and there's still ways that we can do something. So I'm not quite there to where we're not voting yet. We're not voting anymore. But I understand where people are at. And I understand why they're saying that. I think last ditch effort, we need to build strong communities and strong states. And sometimes it might be moving to a state that we believe it is capable of seceding from the union. And to be able to prepare for that time, I hate saying that. I don't want to be the doomer, but you got to look at the opportunities. Like, this country is just spending money, not doing anything that their campaign promises are, not balancing the budget. We are getting ourselves in a world of hurt financially. And eventually it's on our kids' heads and our grandkids' heads, because they got to pay that debt. All of it. And that's crazy to think. We're only a couple generations away from some pretty serious financial pain. And we got to start righting the ship and correcting it somehow. And I think the only way we can start is locally. You'll see an uprising. I'm already seeing it, dude. I'm seeing an uprising in Texas. There's plenty. There's plenty of Texas followers that I follow on X, and they follow me. We interact. Texas is probably going to be a realistic thing here soon, and I don't blame them. I do not blame them at all. And that is the state. You guys have heard this from me before. That is the state that is most capable of seceding from the union. All of the others have too many ties to the federal government and dependencies. Texas doesn't. They have a lot of their own resources. They have a lot of water. They have their own power grid. There's a lot of things that make that achievable. But of course, we know seceding from the union is not going to be easy. It's not just going to go over really easily. It's going to be really tough. But on that note, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in with me. I will not be doing a show next week. I will be traveling. We will also have next weekend the Libertarian Convention in Texas. Libertarian Convention in Texas. We'll be doing this show, the game show live at. So I'm going down there for that. But I'll be doing some random lives. Like Jay Riv threw out the idea of doing some random lives here and there, like 5 minutes. I'll be doing that more over the coming weeks or so. We're going to figure it out. 3 major power grids in the U.S., east of Mississippi, west of Mississippi, and Texas. Yeah, but east and west are too intertangled. That's the reason why Texas makes sense. Is you'd have to get all of the states to kind of do the thing. Trying to get all the states to really do that for the east and west of Mississippi isn't logical, but Texas is their own. And so there's capabilities there. But there's also alternative energy stuff that one of these days we should talk about because I love it. You guys know me. I love that stuff. But again, a reminder, no show next week, but I'll be doing lives on X. You'll see me, and we'll keep going over this bullshit that's going on in this administration. And let's just get through it, guys.